Hi all the stargazers from the Sterrecake group. Tonight I want to tell you a little bit more about the star Canopus. Canopus is the second brightest star next to Sirius in our night sky. To find Canopus, you have to look between the Southern Cross and Canis Major. Canis Major is the big dog, which is helping the hunter Orion fighting Taurus the bull. Now, Canopus is part of the constellation Carina. It has the Bayer notation of Alpha Carinae. Carina is the Latin for the hull or the keel of the ship. Carinae is the Latin genitive of Carina. That means it's in the possessive form, and it actually means of Carina. And therefore Alpha Carinae means the brightest star of Carina. Carina is the bottom part of the constellation Argo Navis, which has been divided into three pieces. Carina, the keel or the hull of the ship; Vela, the sails of the ship; and Puppies, the poop deck. Now, just before you Afrikaans oaks think I talk funny, the poop deck is a structure that is built on top of the cabin on the aft of a ship. It is not there to go for fresh air. It is a place where you can go and stand and have a very good overview of your surroundings while at sea. For those of you who are not so strong in Latin, I have included the English names for the same constellations. Canopus is a supergiant. It is 70 times larger than our Sun. It has a surface temperature of 7,000 degrees centigrade, which is 1,500 degrees centigrade hotter than the surface of our Sun. And it is 310 light years from us. There are two phenomena connected to Canopus that I find very interesting. And the first is that Canopus, at a certain period of the year, sets 2 hours after the sun has set. But then it actually rises 3 hours before the sun rises. And first, when you think about this, it sounds very strange. But when you look at the position of Canopus, you can clearly see that it is closer to the celestial South Pole, and therefore has a shorter route to follow from setting to rising. That is the reason why it is possible for it to set after the sun has set, but then rises before the sun rises. The second phenomena connected to Canopus that I find very interesting is exactly the time that Canopus rises relative to the sun. In the olden days, and that is about 3000 BT, and for those of you who doesn't know what BT stands for, it is before television, because at that time people went out and found their entertainment by looking up at the stars. Because of their attention to detail, these people soon realized that the moment Canopus rises before the sun, it was actually the time that the season changed, and it gave them a very good indication of when to start planting their crops. By using the redshift astronomical model, I'd like to demonstrate to you that the moment Canopus rises before the sun rises, it is in actual fact the start of a new season. Looking at the image, you will see a green line which indicates the horizon. Below the horizon, you will see the sun just before it actually rises. And what I'm going to do now is to take a picture every day and then play that back over a period of time at 16 frames per second. And you will clearly see how the sun moves towards the north, and then how it turns and then comes back to the south. The movement of the sun to the north and then turning back towards the south is because of the orbiting of the earth around the sun, and especially because it has this angled axis of 23 degrees. Because the earth orbits the sun, the background stars to the sun changes all the time. And while the sun is moving between north and south, you will see how the background stars changes and move their position. The moment Canopus actually rises above the horizon, you will see that the sun has reached its northern point and has turned back to the south. And that is exactly what the people 3000 BT used to start planting their crops.